You know that we knock 'em down.
CBT, CBT, CBT.
Yeah, we know we knock 'em down. You know we knock 'em down. 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 Knock 'em down.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm back today with another video. In today's video, I will be giving you a breakdown, my breakdown and prediction of this weekend super featherweight title fight between IBF super featherweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis, who travels to the UK to defend his title for the first time against Liam Walsh. This fight will take place at the Cooper Arena in London. I believe it's going to be on Box Nation. And both of these guys are undefeated. Tank Davis is 23 years old with 17 victories, 0 defeats, 16 of those victories coming by way of KO. And Liam Walsh is 21-0 with 14 knockouts. He's 30 years old. And both of these guys are relatively untested, although they did in their last fights have some, their biggest competition or biggest step up when Tank Davis just obliterated Jorge Pedraza. I forget the round he knocked him out, but a lot of people going into that fight thought that he would, be just too inexperienced to deal with the experienced veteran, Pedraza, myself included, but he proved me and a lot of naysayers wrong. Too much speed, too much power, too much athleticism, good boxing skills. He overwhelmed Pedraza and just, really just obliterated him. He knocked him down and then he finished it because he has that killer instinct. And, now he's the super featherweight IBF champion. Liam Walsh's biggest fight was against Andrei Milov. I don't know if I mispronounced his name, but he won a unanimous decision. Same guy, Milov, he fought Terrence Crawford a few years ago. So he's a good fighter. He's had a good solid career. Liam Walsh, crazy thing about it was he was supposed to fight Ricky Burns for the WBO. I want to say featherweight title 5 years ago, but a month before that fight was supposed to happen, he got injured in a car wreck and was forced to withdraw. So 5 years later, he's been patiently waiting. He's been fighting, getting better, and now this is his moment in front of his home country crowd. In the UK, he gets a chance to become a champion for the first time. Both of these guys are undefeated. Walsh has a slight height advantage, 1.5 inches. He's 5'7.5". Gervonta Davis is listed at 5'6". Walsh also has the reach advantage, but that's where the advantages stop. And him fighting at home, that's where the advantages for Walsh stops. Davis is the better boxer. He's more athletic. He's quicker. He's much stronger. Both guys are southpaws, or at least Walsh can fight out of the southpaw stance. I haven't watched too many of his fights, but the fight, his last fight with Milov, I watched. He was he was out of the southpaw stance, so I'm assuming he's a southpaw. And before we get into any of the details, the battle of foot position is going to be key, because one of them going to have to get that foot on the inside. Is going to cause balance issues if you're trying to attack and your foot you don't have your feet in the right position to attack. And one thing that Davis does do that I don't like is sometimes he fights out of a wide stance, and him already having T-Rex type arms doesn't bode well, so he has to come all the way back just to get his shots. Even though he's fast, that's using unnecessary energy just to do that. So he needs to tighten up his stance. He needs to keep his hands high as well. And watching some of his fights, he comes in, he'll flick the jab from underneath his pectoral, from underneath his chest, He'll flick it instead of having his chin up where he can just shoot it from the chin and bring it back. That tells me he relies a lot on his athleticism. Also, he swings and misses a lot, which has tired him out in previous fights. But lucky for him, he hasn't fought a guy that's skillful enough to make that vulnerability, make him pay for that, using that unnecessary energy. But when he puts his combinations together and his landing is a thing of beauty, He loves to throw the straight left hand, the left. I mean, yeah, also the left uppercut. Excuse me, I'm getting all discombobulated. But he loves to throw the straight left hand, the left uppercut, and the right hook. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. Don't get me wrong. But this fight with Liam Walsh is not going to get him ready, in my opinion, for the upper echelon guys in the super featherweight division. The Corraleses or the Lomachenkos or the guy he got into it with from Philly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I've had a brain fart. Tevin Farmer, yeah, Tevin Farmer, the guy he's another skillful super featherweight contender. But Walsh is going to have to weather the early storm, because I know Tank is going to be coming out there to make a big impression in front of the UK fans, trying to build a fan base, not just in America, but also overseas. Walsh is going to have to use his jab, going to have to look to counter Davis when he comes in reckless. He cannot allow himself to be pushed back on the ropes or willingly go back to the ropes, because if he does that, Tank Davis is going to just tee off on him, and I don't believe that he has the chin to withstand too much of the firepower that's going to be coming from Davis. So Walsh is going to have to try to keep the fight in the middle of the ring, kind of make Davis swing and miss, then look to counter him, use his jab, fight like the taller man that he is. And like I said, he has some power. He doesn't have the power of a Davis, but he has some power, so he can catch Davis coming in recklessly and catch him with a timing shot. Then maybe he can get the respect of Davis. But Davis is going to have to fight a smart fight, because if this goes the distance, there's a chance he could lose his title, whether it's rightfully or not, because he's fighting in foreign territory against Liam Walsh, who is going to have the home crowd behind him. So I think that Davis will get him out of there, though. I think Davis is going to fight a smart fight. I think he's going to let the KO come to him. I think he's going to set everything up. I think he's going to box Walsh. He's going to, out-quick him, out-move him. And at the end of the day, I think he's going to stop him around 9 rounds. I just think it could be early in there. Don't get me wrong, because he's very explosive, and you just never know how the fight play out. But Walsh is a calm guy. He's not going to get too reckless. He knows this is a big moment. So unless Davis overwhelms him and makes him open up sooner than he wants to, I believe that he's going to carry this fight into the deeper, the second half of the fight. And that's when Davis is going to catch him with some combinations and is going to put him down and retain his IBF title. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Leave those comments in the comment section below. Let me know your prediction for this fight. Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Hit that like button on our Facebook page, Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.